Hades. Let me start by saying that I know how highly some people think of this game, and the praise they'd heap upon it is not without merit. If you're big into slow-moving character dramas, this will have some definite appeal. I think it also makes a great fit for fans of arcade beat-em-ups. There's a ton to experience, far more than I even experienced in my 100 plus runs in the game. Unfortunately, the arc of interest for this game is not one I wound up loving, nor is the ridiculously monotonous trophy chase. Not only are you going to run through this game way more times than you want to, but the path to get there is essentially the same every time. There are changes to weapons and combat, you never know which chamber will be next, etc., but the world path, the bosses, and many other things are simply never different. Even where you use modifiers to switch things up, this still wound up getting entirely too stale feeling in the end. Which is a shame, because it starts out feeling infuriating until you begin getting a good grip on things, use God mode and so on. There's a really solid middle point to the time you'll spend here, but if you're chasing the plat or completion to the storylines, this is going to feel like it drags on far too long. And it's a very doable plat otherwise. I was initially excited to see that you could get it on both the PS4 and PS5, but if I ever chase this plat a second time, it will be slow going on purpose. It is a drip-fed story and a button-mashing slog beyond all the bells and whistles. While I can appreciate what's good here, for me this is butter spread too thin on a piece of toast. And though I initially suspected I'd walk away from this without an opinion on the Hades versus Dead Cells debate, there's no question in my mind now that Dead Cells is mostly superior. Be it DLC, alternate world paths, less grind, more choice and options and loadouts from run to run, boss rush mode, and on and on and on. Hades failed in some key areas for me in spite of being an addictive rush for a fair amount of time. The Power Picks Trophy Guide specifically is the one that gets everything right, and I'd encourage you to follow along there if you're hoping for greater details. Personally, I'd recommend skipping this plat, which I hate saying because so much of the chase was engaging, but the grind is what you'll remember the plat for if you decide to go all the way. Again though, if you love dash around beat 'em ups with a vast arsenal of build variety and truly killer narrative, then Hades is something you'll wish you'd played sooner, because you'll always come back to it eventually.